We pick up the creation story again in verse 14 of Genesis 1. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to divide between the day and the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the smaller light to rule the night, and the stars also. Our sun is also the nearest star, at almost 93 million miles from the earth. At the speed of light, it only takes a little over 8 minutes for sunlight to reach us. Most of our world's energy comes from the sun, either directly, such as solar power or its impact on the water cycle, or indirectly, such as causing plants to grow. The great libraries wouldn't have existed without trees, and the trees would never have grown without the sunlight. Almost everything good that we enjoy traces back to the power of the sun, and ultimately to the power of the God that made it. The sons of Korah compared God to the sun in Psalm 84:11. "For Jehovah God is a sun and shield. Jehovah will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly." Not only does God provide us the protection of a shield, but like the sun, he gives us the light of truth, and it is our source of power. And just like the sun shines on the good and bad alike, we all have access to the rays of light that will lead us to God's presence. Without the sun, there would be no weather patterns or water cycle for us to study in grade school. Job describes it this way in Job 36:26-30. "Behold, God is great, and we do not know. The number of his years cannot be searched out, for he draws up the drops of water. They distill rain into mist, while the clouds pour down and drop on man plentifully. Also, can any understand the spreading of the clouds or the crashing of his canopy? Behold, he spreads his light on it, and he covers the bottom of the sea." It's worth noticing that the hydrologic cycle was officially discovered by Jacob Birknes from Sweden in 1957. Yet here we have Job describing it in detail thousands of years ago. Either Job was really good at science guessing games, or the same God who designed the interactions between sun and earth knew exactly how they all worked together. The sun was to be the great ruler of the daytime skies, and the gentle moon was to rule the night. Remember how it takes over 8 minutes for sunlight to reach us? Well, moonlight travels all the way to Earth in less than a second and a half. In the space of 5 minutes, a light could flash back and forth from Earth to moon and back again 238 times. The moon has no light of its own. In fact, it's hardly any more reflective than old, worn-out asphalt. How could a giant chunk of gray rock be transformed into the glowing orb we see at night? Simple. When it receives light from the sun, it immediately turns around and shares it. In Romans 3:10-12, Paul gives us a picture of what our natural hearts looked like, and it's pretty grim. "There is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understands, there is none that seeks after God. They are all gone out of the way. They have together become unprofitable. There is none that does good, no, not one." On our own, each one of us is like a dark piece of asphalt without being able to produce anything good on our own. It would be pretty depressing if that's all there was. But just like Paul Harvey always said, here's the rest of the story. A few chapters farther in Romans 8:13-18, Paul says, "For if you live according to the flesh, you shall die. But if you through the Spirit mortify the deeds of the body, you shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, by which we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ, so that if we suffer with him, we may also be glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the coming glory to be revealed in us. The sun and moon were given to us, not only to mark the signs and seasons, days and years, but to illustrate to us our relationship to God, how much we need him, how he gives us power and strength, and how he changes our hearts, making us so we can reflect his glory to everyone who sees us. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.